All right, and we're live. So welcome back to Unhinged Tech. So normally you have myself, TechOdyssey, and then we have Des here from T-Mobile tonight. And Dan would, well, you know Dan. I would say normally he'd be here, but lately it's been normally he's not been here. He's probably still stuck in line over at McDonald's trying to get some nuggets. So he'll be here soon, I'm sure.
Maybe the spicy nuggets?
I haven't tried those yet. I heard about the spicy nuggets, and I saw like one person tweeted like, "Oh my gosh, they're disgusting," and then some people were like, "They're delicious, but you got to get them when they're super hot and fresh." So I don't know. I haven't had them.
Super hot and fresh. Had them last night. I'm not a junk food person, but my daughter wanted a cheeseburger, and she said, "There's a McDonald's right there," and I went, "Ooh, I'm gonna get some spicy nuggets," and they were good. I ate them fresh. But I felt terrible the rest of the night. That's me personally. I'm sure.
I made the mistake of eating the spicy nuggets from Wendy's one time, and I had them for dinner, and I paid for that dearly. I was like, you know what? There's not enough Pepsi for this. I can't be doing this spicy food for late dinner thing. Oh, we got a couple people in here already. We've got Matthew Jones, who was apparently eager and waiting for us. 11 minutes seems like forever, and we're live now. So glad to have you here. Drew, welcome. Glad to have you here as well, and anybody else watching tonight. So we got a little bit of an agenda, and not too crazy. I mean, nothing too rigid here, but we are going to talk about a couple phones tonight. So hopefully that's what you guys are here for. Of course, we had the Google Pixel announcement today. So we got the 4A 5G, and we also got, oh, looky there. And Des pulling a fast one. I was like, let's talk about this phone. I wonder what they look like out in the wild. It's like, bam, look. Oh, there you go.
Here it is. This is all the disclaimers. This is pre-production test unit. This is actually one I took the picture of this morning for our announcement with its little, look at that, headphone jack right on top there.
Nice.
Dual cameras on the back. Yeah, it's, and I just got a software update, which is pretty standard for Google after the day or on the day of announcement. A whole bunch of features flew into the phone. So that'll be exciting.
So the Pixel 4a 5G, and we're going to circle back around and talk about this, but that one is really interesting to me for a lot of reasons. Mm-hmm. Then, of course, the Pixel 5, and we've got, I know you got the Motorola RAZR 5G, which is super cool. There we go.
We'll keep showing them.
I like how they do that. I don't know if they did that or you put that Google search like right smack dab where the bend is in the screen. Did you do that?
We no, they kind of come that way, and it's funny the bend. And here, I'll get it. I'll see if I can get a little glare on it.
It's not as bad as it is on. I think
and I don't know if that will read very well. You actually get two bends. You get one here and one here. I got two fingers on the phone.
That one though, the hinge mechanism on the RAZR though, it kind of folds back when it comes in, so it doesn't put that sharp
in. Yeah, tucks it down. There, that's better with the screen off.
Okay.
So there you can kind of let me learn
how
to
see that
camera. So yeah, we can talk about that one and play with that some more.
And then we've got the Samsung Galaxy S20 Fan Edition. You got one of those too? Go on.
Fan Edition.
Is that a Samsung leather case on there, or what? I can't.
No, that's the Cloud Blue.
Oh wow, that's not even a case. I thought that was a case.
And it's got my little Jaws theme because this was actually the one I used in the swimming pool.
Yeah, that was totally cool.
I've got some little Samsung surfer people, and yeah, it's plastic, polycarbonate, whatever you want to call it, and it's got fingers on it.
It looked like a case to me. I guess maybe the way the light's hitting it because it's kind of flat. I guess
could be. Yeah, it's like a frost or they call it cloud, so it's got a little kind of a soft touch finish to it. It's really nice. I like this one a lot.
Unless you're in Houston or in Los Angeles, and then it's just haze. It's not clouds.
Yeah, yeah. We have a little forest fire smoke too going on right now outside, so we've got that as well.
Y'all are compounding your air quality right now.
Yes, making it good. So
a couple more people here. Alex Tech Review, how's it going? Thanks for being here. Jess, always glad to have you here. Christian, Ashley, Drew.
Ashley's a T-Mobiler. Hello, Ashley.
Very nice.
The wing.
Oh, I forgot you had that too.
I have the wing.
Man.
I have the blue. I know. I kind of have a lot of good stuff right now.
You got a whole lot of good stuff.
We're just finishing up. I have the wing. I'm a spoiled kid. I have the wing in both colors.
What? So, all right.
Yeah.
Since you've got two of them, and it's nothing to do with my show, we're not doing a giveaway here. Since you've got two, does that mean that one is going to find its way into a lucky T-Mobile person's pocket, or are you just fortunate enough to have two to look at?
No,
Right now?
they sent both because one has different software than the other one. And sometimes when we're in pre-production land like we are now, they, instead of sending software over the air like a FOTA, they will literally, because of COVID, they will send me a new phone with new software and have me send back the old phone. So I just haven't sent back the black one or gray colored one yet. And the blue.
We'll talk offline later in case that one needs to get lost in the mail.
Yeah, exactly. It's on a really bad software. It's not on good software. The blue one's on much better, and will get better over the next few weeks. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I am really looking forward to a lot of those. I was super excited and surprised when they announced that the LG Wing. I like what they've done with the Razer. They beefed it up a little bit, and I think I'm a little torn which one I'm more interested in right now. I mean, of course, I've got every Samsung flagship phone in the sun, so I like Samsung phones. So the Fan Edition does interest me, but also I really like the new Pixels, and I love the Pixel 4. I mean, the Pixel 4 battery was not all that great. I'm glad that it seems like they bumped that up, and they're going to have a better way to manage the battery with the Snapdragon 765, which is a really good processor.
Yeah.
So I like what's going on right now. There's a lot of really interesting stuff going on in the phone space, and like I said, the last month or two has just been crazy with all these phones coming out.
Sure. I think it's and I can't remember if we talked about this last time I was on, but I love the fact that these devices, or at least some of them, I'm looking kind of across the table, are in the $500 to $600 to $700 price range, right? I mean, Fan Edition is $699 at T-Mobile. Pixel hasn't been announced yet, but the Google Store price is out. I think they're asking $499 for 4A 5G, 4A with 5G.
Yep. Which is
Razer is quite a bit more expensive, but Razer, we have offers that are almost like a half off kind of thing. Wing, I think, was going to be, I saw rumors and speculation that it's going to be just under $1,000. So again, that's flagship price, but there's a lot of technology in that one.
My guess on that one, I think it looks like Verizon's pricing leaked. I know carrier stuff is dependent, but I think Verizon released something, or somebody leaked saying it's going to be $999, but they have that millimeter wave technology. And like looking at the other LG devices like the Velvet and the V60, they were like $50, $100 difference. So I figured that whenever T-Mobile finally announces it, it'll probably be a little bit less than that, but it's still going to be close to that $1,000 mark, especially once you factor in tax. But it's really cool. It looks just like the Velvet to me, but then it pivots out and you get that really, really cool handle on it, because that's one thing you get with these larger folding devices.
I'm looking for Velvet right now.
So they're really cool because they give you extra features, extra space, extra cool things that you can do, but you kind of sacrifice some of your hold on the phone. Like you get the nice form factor with the fold, but when it opens up, it's really large. You have to use two hands. Yeah. One nice thing about the Wing is when you open it up, you still get to hold on to it with one hand like a normal phone, but you get that expanded real estate up top. Yeah. So I like the way that they went with that. I think it adds a level of complexity that you don't get with some of the other novel form factors.
Yeah. So there is a Velvet and a Wing back-to-back, or face-to-face, as it were. You can see the Wing is a little bit thicker, but really it's pretty much, it's just that extra screen is what you're really...
Yeah, the body looks the same even the antenna bands line up. So, I mean, that's the first thing I thought whenever I saw the video clips was, hey, this is the Velvet. They built this on the Velvet platform and just added this extra level to it. So,
and it is... holding it here so you guys can see, it's very comfortable.
The back of it looks cool too with little dots. I mean, or maybe it's just a reflection from the light on my end.
It's got a little texture there, print, if you will.
Yeah, I am hoping to get my hands on one of those whenever they come out.
But it's so fun just to sit here and swing. It's hard to do in front of the camera.
Oh, so we got some people over here. Lots of chat. So shout me out. Hello. Welcome, AMTTC official. Yeah, lots and lots of people in here tonight, so that's super cool. Trying to keep up with all the comments here.
There we go.
Yes, the new and improved Dan. We codenamed him Des. He's much better looking on the screen than Dan.
You know, the cool thing about Wing, as we're talking about Wing, is gimbal mode on the phone.
I wanted to ask about that. Have you been able to test that out as like doing some moving footage and see how stable it is?
Not moving footage yet, but I'll give a quick demo while we're here. Let's see if I can do this. So you can see there you go.
That's really cool. So the camera floats in there, I guess, or it has some sort of.
I think it's done in software. I don't think the camera is actually moving. I'll need to double check.
I wanted to ask about that, and I didn't want to ask too much with regards because it's not out yet. But I've seen that feature with some cameras where it'll be like a cropped image, and it allows you to move it software, so you can kind of it gives you the illusion that you're looking in a different direction. But I mean, you're looking in a different direction. It's just an expanded view.
But I think if done right in software, I don't matter. It doesn't matter to me if it's gimbal or if it's doing it in software. I think the idea, you look at GoPro with Hyper Smooth and what they're doing. Yeah, a lot of that's cropping in software too. And as long as the result is what you want and the quality that you want it at, I think it's a great solution, right?
The cool thing about it is it puts it all on a phone. It's not like I got to carry a phone. I got to carry a GoPro. I got to carry a tripod. It's a one-stop shop. Bam! Let me just grab my phone and go. And you're
yes, and yes. GoPro's behind me back there.
Extra batteries. I mean, you go out on location to go do something, and it's like, let me bring my used to go to your friend's house and pack up to go over there. It's like, let me bring my Nintendo and my controllers and everything. Now it's like, let me grab all my stuff in my adult backpack and hit the road.
Yeah, for sure. There we go. Get that light off my head.
Yes.
Lots of question. People say, dude, that's sick. LG Wing, they want it. Might be skipping the fold. I think it's different. It's funny. We're getting a lot of questions. Maybe we transition over to the Razer. We have an unboxing video that's going up. One of my favorite features, and I bet I can get it to do it if it sees you.
I would wager you didn't unbox that one underwater.
I did not. Can you see that little guy smiling at you?
I see the eyebrows.
Little face.
I saw the eyes there for a second. I saw the eyebrows. What is that?
It's a little bright out there. It's essentially to entertain a kid or other people to smile. It's a little face in the secondary outside display. And when it sees you smile, it's taking pictures. So
that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty
that's nice.
Hilarious.
As somebody who, my wife and I, we have 6 kids. I spent a lot of time when these kids were
this would be for you.
Trying to take pictures. It's like, come on, smile. Oh no, they threw up. All right, honey, all right, smile. He's trying to do it. Oh.
Let me see if I can. I think that's a kind of a silly little feature, but there's a lot of technology, I feel like, in the Razer that's meant for everyday use. It's got nano coating inside, so it doesn't have an official IP water rating, but it's water resistant for the everyday stuff. It's got the internal front-facing camera for when you're doing the video calls and things like that. But on the outside, the main camera, which is 48 megapixels, you can launch it here. And let me get in there, punch in my code, do all the things.
Got a couple more people in here real quick.
Sure.
It's here. Perfect for kids. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Unnamed Review, welcome to you as well. Glad to have everybody here tonight. Yes, talking about the Razer 5G right now, which is a little bit of an improvement over the original Razer.
So there are all the camera modes. Just for the 48 megapixel camera in this kind of selfie mode, and you can
that's a ton of different options on.
Yeah, so you can do essentially every group selfie, live filter, night vision, spot color, which I did a demo for in the video, slow motion, and time lapse, all like this.
That makes life easy. Like, I love the Z Flip, but one significant shortfall of the Z Flip, which is apparent in seeing the Razer, is that the Razer is able to put that really nice functional screen on the outside versus just that tiny little LED readout with the Z Flip, which is fine. But I think with the Flip 2, when it eventually comes out, they're going to have to put that on there. Otherwise, I really do think that people will start migrating towards this, which is not a bad option. It's got this.
So here are the apps. and I'm doing it backwards, not doing terrible, but you can see there's games, which is that Astro Odyssey.
Oh, you can actually play it on the front screen. That's ridiculous.
I don't know if I can play it.
I don't know if I'd play like Boom Beach or anything on there, but I mean, that looked doable.
yeah. This is just a fun little hoppy game. You can read the news, you can reply to text messages, you can take notes in Google Keep. There are others. There's a whole bunch, so I can go in and you can see kind of all the different.
I like that. Yeah, I mentioned when you tweeted out yesterday, I'd said that I'd never had a Razer phone before. When they came out back in the day, they were like $499, $599, $600. I mean, it's funny.
They were expensive back then.
Yeah, we're talking 20 years ago. So, I mean, I had just joined the Air Force back then. I was making like $600 every 2 weeks. I wasn't buying a $400 phone, and I didn't have Verizon. So I had friends that had them, and like when the iPhone came out, the first probably 5 generations, it was very iconic. It was very much kind of a status symbol phone because there wasn't much out like it in the market, and it was really expensive. But I do remember as the Razer was going downhill, the original one, they were still asking a lot of money for it, even when like the iPhone came out. Yeah. So then people kind of started to migrate away, and
there he is. There he is.
Are you ready? You need me to kick you out of here? You might not be able to hear us.
Now I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Unfortunately,
I am ready to throw this whole thing out of this window.
You can join in from your phone.
I was gonna. That was my last resort. I was gonna come on the Fold. I already checked the Fold to make sure it worked, but
it works good.
Yeah. Well,
it works really good.
Everybody, Dan's here.
Oh,
nice. Matthew Jones says, "Sorry, I'm back. Had to go watch the Razer unboxing real quick. That must have just gone up. Let's see. It did just go up. All right, there you go. Razer unboxing's up. You can see all of that outside screen stuff. And my 2 cents for a couple minutes anyway on the Razer.
Very fancy. I'll have to go check that out once this is over.
So what's up, Dan? What do you want to talk about tonight?
Now that you're here.
We showed up all the phones already. All we have left for you is
that's right. Know. He doesn't like flip clamshell phones anyway. He would have bought.
I'm the one who was going to get the clamshell. Yeah, see, this douchebag talked me out of it and then bought one of them Galaxy Z Flips.
Z Flip's fantastic.
Yeah, I said that as well, but he literally talked me out of it, and then within a month, I bought a Z Flip. I love it. It's the best thing ever. Mm-hmm.
I like the Fold, but I feel like this thing.
I love that.
I feel like I'm gonna break it.
Really? I got no problem.
Right? You just have to be careful with it.
You have to be too careful with it, which is very frustrating.
I've not been very careful with mine. Mine comes with me on job sites and everything so far.
Yeah.
No case on.
And you're good?
No scratch, no nothing on it.
Now, knock on wood.
Yeah, that's it. I'll drop it tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll drop it as I get in the truck.
I ordered a sketchy case off of Amazon. We'll see what happens whenever it shows up eventually. But I think that, and I talked about this in one of my videos recently, and I think you might have touched on it as well. It was nice that the original Fold came out with a case, even though it may not have been the best case in the world. At $2,000, they should have included a case with it. It's just too expensive to be toting around and not have one on there. I mean, I think that it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, for sure.
Charging $80 for half a case.
Yeah, that you can't even deliver on.
Yeah.
Here, we're going to charge you $80 for a case that just goes on the back of your phone. By the way, we don't have enough to send to half the people that bought one. So,
no.
Samsung.
Well, all my phones are sitting without cases, except for I'm going to put a case on the Pixel because I love that Google does recycled materials.
I do like that, yeah.
And Pixel cases, I don't know if you guys know this. We're going to do a video for it. They're machine washable.
What?
Yes. A ton of people don't know this. It's like it even says on the back of the box, it says machine wash, gentle cycle, lay flat to dry. And I think people must think that's a joke. But
Google. You don't know.
Yeah, their cases get kind of dirty. Everybody's case gets dirty, right? Especially if you're cramming them in like your jeans pocket or something like that. But just knowing that you can take that case out, throw it in the washing machine, and then lay it out, like, because we're doing that with masks right now. So, we wash our masks on gentle cycle and then lay them out to dry. Just put your phone case in, it looks like brand new. It's fantastic. So that's fun.
I didn't know.
I never knew that. I had one of those cases with my Pixel 3a XL, which is funny. I guess I'll be getting the Pixel 5, which is cool. Then I'll be getting that. But I've got the Pixel 3a XL, I've got the Pixel 4, and then I'll be able to put the Pixel, the 4a, and put the 5 next to that. So I think it's cool. I like the body style that they go with, and I like what they did with putting the fingerprint sensor back on the back.
Yeah.
I much prefer that. Didn't realize how much I preferred that until I got the 4A in hand. I was like, this is so much better.
Well, and you had to wear a mask every time you go outside.
Yeah.
And face recognition doesn't work.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Razer has it on the back too. It's right, perfect spot on Razer. The 4A has it. And
it's super responsive. Like
4A.
Some people. Some people may not have got to experience how nice that is, and now it's like, oh, we've got all these ones under the screen. They're so cool. Sure. Except for they take like a second and a half. Sometimes they're less accurate. You get false touches. You won't get it to register your fingerprint, and then you go to one of these. It's like, boop, you're good.
Yeah, but like Dan, for your folds, got it on the power button over there. That's
I love it. I love the power one. Yeah, because Sony used to do that all the time over in Europe. They used to be on the power button. But for some reason, they disabled it in the United States. I don't know why they would do that, but
I think it was some sort of a territorial thing, probably infringed on something or some sort of contractual thing that they locked themselves into, and didn't realize it would be an issue later on.
Most bizarre.
Yeah, they did that up until I think the XZ3 Premium, because I remember when the XZ1 came over, and Mr. Mobile was doing a video, and he's like, "But hey, no fingerprint unlocking, even though the thing's here." I'm like, "Well, that's a big failure."
But you could root the phone and enable it.
Yeah, you could load the international version of the software on there and unlock it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, question for Des.
Yes,
you
sir.
guys are carrying the 4A 5G, correct?
That has been confirmed. That is true.
Are you carrying the 5 as well, or is that a...
No, that's been confirmed. We're not carrying the 5. There's an FAQ page, and if you tweet me or if you guys want to, I can share the link later. But there is a T-Mobile FAQ page that says, what we announced today, which is the fact that we are going to have the 4A 5G. Pricing and availability is not revealed yet. Of course, there's some frequently asked questions. Are you going to carry the 5? The answer is no. Why not? I think there's a million different reasons why this stuff doesn't show up on carrier networks. It could be that Google wants to sell it themselves. It could be that someone wanted an exclusive and it didn't go through. You never know. But we test all Pixels to make sure they work properly on our network, so they're certified for use on our network. So you can buy it from Google and bring it to T-Mobile, no problem. It'll work great. And the phones are very similar, right? You're looking at. We were speculating before you came on, Dan, because of course we haven't announced pricing, but I think the rumor is that the 4A 5G from Google is going to be $499.
Correct.
And then the 5 is going to be $699.
Correct.
So you kind of do a compare of what the $200 is. Yeah, I do my homework, right?
Yes.
So you can see, difference in screen size, resolution. It's like a 6 and a 6.2. The bigger screen is actually on the less expensive device, but it's a 60 hertz screen versus the 90 hertz screen.
Yep.
Pixel density is a bit lower because of it. They're both full HD plus. They what else can I tell you? One's got 6 gigs of RAM, one's got 8.
Yeah, one's IP rated. The 4A 5G isn't.
Yeah. Wireless charging and reverse wireless charging.
Yep.
So Samsung
gigabytes of RAM.
Power share, right? It's a similar thing.
Yeah, and then that blew my mind today. It's a recycled aluminum body with wireless charging. I was reading what they've done.
There was a comment. I saw someone's tweet. It might have been David Immel. It was saying that there is a coil cut into I can't wait to see the engineering part of that.
Absolutely, because I was reading they cut a piece out of the aluminum and then they put a resin panel in that's the same thickness, and that's where the coil sits.
And that was my speculation earlier, because you had made a comment about it, and I said there's a secret door on the back. There's going to be a cutout somehow, because that's one of the reasons why they haven't done metal bodies. That used to be the thing, metal body phones, and like you had the HTCs, the unibody design, the Nokias, even like the Apple. All these phones had these metal backs. And then it's like, oh, we can't do wireless charging. We'll set houses on fire and it won't go through efficiently. So we have to switch to the glass backs.
Yeah. Well, Snapdragon figured out how to do that, didn't they, Qualcomm, if I remember rightly? In 2015, they released, or they had a version of wireless charging that would work with a metal case.
It's probably, they probably abandoned it. I would imagine it may be less efficient because of having to travel through the metal, or there's probably some sort of safety concern. Or maybe that's what happened with AirPower.
Yeah.
We don't talk about air power.
Here's what we know right here is that, yes, according to this right here, Zach will figure it out for us, and inquiring minds will be informed.
Yeah. I cannot wait. That'll be a good one. It's such an unassuming device. You know, it's even when I first got my test unit, it's nothing special, right? But the sauce is inside with them, and camera. I've been waiting. Probably in the next couple of days, I'll start posting pictures. Wide angle lens.
Wide angle, fine.
I was so excited. I ran up the hill where I walk my dog up the street. I can see it from here. And there's it's always like kind of nice when I take them on an evening walk at sunset time, because it's over like a retaining pond and there's some trees and everything. It's just a nice little landscape shot. And that's the first thing I take a picture of, is the wide angle version of that shot, because I take it with everything else, and like clouds and, all that sunsets. And I think my moment of being a believer in wide angle lenses was the Galaxy S10 when I got my test unit. I usually get those kind of around New Year's time frame for the February, March devices. That's a secret I probably shouldn't be sharing, but oh well. but in that particular case, I got that device just before New Year's, and I had the opportunity to go to the top of the Space Needle here in Seattle. Nice. It was an early morning, like an 8 a.m. event, and that's the dead of winter, and so the sun was just coming up as we were on the very, very top deck of the Space Needle. So outside on the roof, completely unobstructed view, and I took an ultra wide shot of the Seattle skyline. And I was like, I'm not a photographer, and that looked amazing, right? That makes you, the everyday person, makes your shots look really cool. It's just, GoPro does it, right? That's why everybody loves GoPro photos. You get that kind of cool, slightly bent out of shape look to those ultra wide angle shots, and it looks neat, and people love that. So now that on this device, I'm very excited, because that's a go-to camera. You already know the camera's great. Now you've got kind of some lenses to help prove it.
I'm happy to see that Pixel listened. They got a lot of criticism from a lot of people whenever they announced with the Pixel 4 that it had a telephoto and not the wide angle. And as much as they have a really good implementation with the telephoto, but you get such good pictures nowadays, and then with the pixel binning and all that stuff, you can get some of the same almost quality with the 2 to 3 times zoom on a digital that you don't necessarily need to have a
I think the idea, though, that their heart was in the right place, because with the 4, they're about helping people, right? And what they saw were a bunch of users taking their iPhones or whatever phone and taking a picture of a little Timmy up on stage at the Christmas pageant at school. But the parents would zoom in, and it's super pixelated, and people can't hold it still enough to take a non-blurry photo. And so the pain point they were trying to solve was always get a great photo, even when you zoom in.
It legitimately does.
Yeah, they just kind of they went like this, with the trend being everybody wants those GoPro style wide angle shots.
Yep.
So,
well, I think the other issue too was not so much that they included a telephoto, but that they omitted the wide angle. When everybody else was going 3 cameras wide, they stuck with 2 and opted for a non-conventional telephoto, but it still took amazing pictures. And I think that was great. But I like that they did this now. I'm really looking forward to it, because everybody knows what the Pixel can do when it comes to camera quality. So I think I think it's going to be impressive. You'll see a lot of really good pictures on Twitter in the near future.
I'm really shocked that they've put the same camera system from the 5 on the 4A 5G. I'm surprised they've done that because it's made the. For me, I think the 4A 5G is the best one to get when you look at the price point. I think that it's
That's where it doesn't come in green.
Yeah, green. What a sage green and all. It's like what?
Maybe they'll come out with another color later. I don't know. I would have liked to seen that in more colors. I think what's more confusing, and there were people talking about this on Twitter. I think you mentioned it. The naming. Had they named it the Pixel 5A, it would make so much more sense.
Yeah,
than the 4A.
The tech blogs or tech sites picked it up, and I would say more. You're probably more right than wrong. That yes, this is in fact a 5A, right? But then do you call it a Pixel 5A 5G? Or it probably starts to get weird. And that I've been working on phones for a long time. Naming's always like literally one of the toughest things because you want to very clearly identify what it is.
Yeah.
You want your flagship to be a flagship, so the 5's got to be the 5, and this is slightly less than a 5. So what do you call it, right?
Yeah. I think the only thing that concerned me was if somebody goes into a store to go buy something, they'll look at it and be like, okay, this is the 4A 5G. This is the same as the cheap one. It just has a little bit bigger screen, whereas it's very more, I think, akin to the 5 than it is the 4A with some of the feature sets that it brings to the table.
Let's call it the 4 3/4.
4.5.
I said that to one of the guys at work today. That's what I said. I said that's the 4 3/4, and that's the 5.
So I do like it. I mean,
the price is the determining factor there too.
At $499, I know that
to be at $499. That really is.
I called the 4A like the most complete phone of 2020. I mean, for what you get for the price, it just has everything that you can ask for the price. I mean, if it were another $100 more, you might talk about a few things, or for $200 more. But at the price point, it's just such a good phone. And this one kind of filled in those gaps for the extra price point and gave you some more of what would be needed to fill that, but still be complete.
Yeah, and you can go right to Google's website and actually compare the three. And very quickly, like I'm looking at it right now. So your 4A's got a 5.8-inch screen. Your 5.6. The only thing is, again, this screen's slightly bigger. I kind of feel, again, if you're doing all this other stuff, the slightly bigger screen on the premium phone's probably the way to go. But that's, they're all around. It's funny, the battery is essentially 3,800 milliamp hours, but it might as well be 4,000. The other battery is a little bit, the 5 is a little over 4,000.
I'm just got that 90 hertz display
with that phone, and they're getting 10 hours screen on time.
Yeah, no, the phone's fantastic. Like, there's not a phone that I use today, even Razer with small battery. I think 2,800 something milliamp hour battery. I can't remember off the top of my head, but pretty close. No problem. And I think a lot of that comes from screen technology, this refresh rate that we're talking about, right? It just depends. If you want a phone with a bigger screen and a bigger refresh rate, give us a bigger battery, right? The fan edition, like we're talking about, is a 4,500 milliamp hour battery with that 120 hertz refresh rate screen. It makes sense, right? And it's a full HD screen, so nothing terribly exciting, but looks fantastic.
Great.
I'm really interested in that one for a lot of different reasons, but I like that it's got the higher Snapdragon. I mean, it's what the 865 instead of the Plus, which I feel like the 865 was more power efficient whenever it came to the battery life than the 865 Plus. Like the LG, looking at the S20 Ultra and then looking at the LG V60 with the Snapdragon 865, I felt like it just managed to squeeze more out of the battery than like the Note 20 Ultra, which seems to die much faster, even though...
I'm going to be not as polite. The Note 20 Ultra is a dumpster fire when it comes to battery.
No.
Yeah, I've had 2 of them, Des. That's why I ended up getting rid of this. I returned 2 of the Notes because it wouldn't get me through the day.
I'm this close to selling my Note 20 Ultra. And the only reason I say that is because I got the Fold and primarily what I use my Note for, other than a daily driver, is my B-roll and my videos. I shoot all my B-roll and my videos with my Note 20 Ultra or whatever Samsung phone, and I tested it out with the Fold 2, and it's pretty well just as capable. The only thing is you get a little bit of limitation when it comes to like a mount to put it on. It kind of worries me a little bit with the camera mount, but that's otherwise. I mean, I don't need both of them, but the battery life somehow on the Note 20 Ultra is just, I get about 5 hours of screen time, and then I'm at like 10% battery.
And it's so varied between, I mean, I know everybody uses their phones different, but when you speak to people in the tech world, they tend to be more power users. And we've got people that we know that are getting 8, 9, 10 hours out of it. I one day got 3.5 hours out of mine, and that was when I was like, that's enough. No more. Cannot have a Note with 3.5 hours.
I've killed mine in 4 hours using the camera. If you use the video camera, 1, it sucks up the battery, and 2, it gets really hot. I used mine outside in some semi-direct sunlight to shoot that drone video that I did, and it shut off on me twice because of overheating and said to wait to turn the camera back on.
Yeah, that's true. It is fact.
It is a shame. Like I say though, there's no common theme for everybody. Like say somebody, I put a video out on YouTube about it, and I've got like 2,000 people saying my battery is great. You've just got a crap phone. Or you've got an X, because they hear the English accent. They're like, it's because you've got an Exynos version. I'm like, oh, dude, I live in Ohio. Leave me alone. I don't have an Exynos. You know?
I will say, though, battery issue aside, and I can still get 5 hours. I can make it last through the day. If I know I'm going to be away from a charger, I can adjust my habits to accommodate that and make sure it lasts. Like, it won't die on me if I need
to. You shouldn't have to adjust your habits, right?
Yeah. And when I'm at home,
I think for me, that's why I probably like Fan Edition as my go-to. Like if I, to your point about Note, Note's got all the technology I want. Mm-hmm. Fan Edition feels like the rough and tumble, dependable sidekick, not sidekick the phone, but just the thing you want to have in your pocket because it's going to have battery. Yep. It's going to take great pictures. You can game on it if you want to. I game on my OnePlus 8 Pro. Like almost exclusively, that is absolutely the best phone to game on.
Is that what that was before, the 1.8, the OnePlus 8 Pro? You've got the OnePlus 8 Pro?
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
No, it's right here. This is we carry the OnePlus 8.
Yeah, I was thinking of the T. Sorry, I was thinking of the T, not the Pro. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
This is a monster. This thing, gaming on this is the best by far. Yeah.
It's a shame that didn't come to carriers this time. I just don't...
Again, it's certified for use on T-Mobile's network. You can buy it from OnePlus and bring it to T-Mobile. Works great. I'm living proof.
yeah, there you go.
Looks like we got a question for you here, Des, since you're the Razer guru. What do you think?
Now, are they talking about, so I'm going to take it that he's probably talking about the Razer that only Verizon had. There's a lot of, they did. There was a lot of work put into this device, from what I understand, to make this device better in almost every way. So better camera, better screen, fingerprint sensor in the right spot. Balance of the phone is super important. We sat, I think I tweeted this the other day. This is literally, these are my notes from talking with the Razer product expert.
Oh, wow.
And it's insane. There's like it's like a word cloud of design, small and pocketable, advanced selfie camera, sophisticated design.
It doesn't have the Rice Krispie hinge anymore. 3D
form glass, 48 megapixel optical image stabilization, laser autofocus, quad pixel binning, functional pocketability, plastic OLED screen, zero gap display. They tested the hinge over 200,000 times. They said an average person opens like 40 times a day, open and close. A power user opens and closes over 100 times a day. So at 200,000 tests, the phone's going to last you more than 5 years.
Yeah.
That's like, that kind of reminds me just of the TVs. Remember when like the plasmas came out and they're like, oh, they're only good for 40,000 hours. It's going to be dead in 4 years. I'm like,
yep.
The average person doesn't watch TV 18 hours a day. Like if you put it at like 4 hours a day, the sucker's going to last you a decade. You're good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They used the 765G in this one. So it's kind of like the 865 plus, right? Got a little bit more, although I don't think I would game with it just because of the little kind of a reach over feeling, and
and pushing onto that plastic screen as well. I don't know whether
you know what.
I don't worry about the screen reliability. I worry about like the hinge bending at the moment I'm trying to keep a bad guy or turn the corner.
Yeah.
Like you're driving and all of a sudden you're doing this.
Yeah. Whoops.
I will admit, normally I use my Fold as my primary phone, but when I switch over to gaming, I use my Surface because it has the glass screen on it, and I worry so much that I'm sitting there. Sometimes I'll be a little aggressive with, get mad, somebody kill me, tap on the screen too hard. Like I don't want to mess up my Fold.
Yeah, but isn't the Surface? Can't you also dual screen and do a controller down on the bottom?
Yes, you can use a controller with it.
Yeah. So but like on-screen controls, similar to what you can do with Velvet, right?
Yeah, the Velvet and the V60.
The LG,
they do really well at that.
That has the LG control. You can use that. With the LG. With this one, it may be game dependent. It doesn't. I don't think it has one by default. And I haven't tried that. I don't play those kind of games, but I've been playing this game lately. It's called Among Us. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, my 16-year-old upstairs plays Among Us, and he's hilarious about that game. And I remember seeing that in the Play Store. I feel like forever ago.
Yeah.
And just thinking, what's that little spaceman game, right? And never giving it another thought.
So
it is the thing everybody's playing.
I installed it like weeks ago, and then all of a sudden last week, my kids come up to me like, "Dad, can I get this game? Dad, can I get this game? I want to get it because it's $5 on the PC, whereas it's free on the phone, and they all have their gaming rigs." So I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I buy it on one. They come back, "Dad, can I get it on my computer?" Because they got like 5 different Steam accounts, one for each kid, and then mine. So then the other one comes in. So I spent like $15 on this game last week, and I'm like, I've had that installed on my phone for weeks. Let me try this out. And then I've been playing with them. I'll be laying there in bed for like, all right, I'm going to sleep. Let me just play one game real quick or 2 rounds. And like an hour and a half later, of me getting murdered on this game. But it's a ton of fun, especially for free on your phone. So if anyone doesn't know, Among Us, it reminds me a lot of like those murder mystery suspense things where like you've got 10 people in a room. They used to do like the dinner theater and stuff. And one person is the killer. And it's kind of like Clue, like a live action Clue, but people run around. You got to go do different tasks on the spaceship, and this one dude is trying to.
I'm gonna have to download now.
Oh, it's so fun! So you don't know who the killer is, and when somebody finds a dead body, it gets reported, and then you go and you're like, "Who was it?" And everybody's a different color. So I think it was the white guy, or the green guy, or the blue guy. And you're like, "No, I saw him on that side of the ship," and you're like, "No, it wasn't me, dude," because you can talk too. And I'm like, "No, I was playing once, and I was like, I just went and I hit the emergency button just to get rid of somebody. I'm like, hey." I saw Green go through the chute. He's like, no, I didn't go through the chute. I'm like, I did. I saw you. You went through the chute, and only the bad guy can do that. So we all voted him and threw him out the airlock. But it's so fun.
That's hilarious. Now I'll have to download it. So there's a couple questions I want to get to real quick. So we compared Razer to Flip 5G is the question Ashley's asking. Different phones, different use cases. I think Razer is your fashion forward design style, kind of even a little bit of nostalgic play. Solid camera, single camera. There is an internal 20 meg selfie camera, but really you're going to use that 48 megapixel camera. Whereas Z Flip 5G, so the Samsung triple camera, telephoto like we talked about, wide and we talked about tele and wide. So you've got all 3 cameras, right? You've got a tele, a wide, and an ultra wide. I would liken the Samsung to more like the multi-purpose productivity device. Would you say, Dan? Kind of like the Fold, it's got all that Samsung 2 things at once kind of feeling going on. The Razer doesn't do the multitasking the same way. The Razer feels more like a pocketable, good camera when you want it, and then triage things from that outside quick view screen. Right?
That screen is really good on the Motorola as well. That's a big win over the Flip.
Probably didn't make Ashley's life any easier, but hopefully, even like when she's a T-Mobile employee, thank you. When she's talking to customers about these phones, that's the easiest way. It's like, do you want kind of that productivity, multitasking powerhouse with 3 great cameras, or do you want to look cool and stylish and have that Razer like you had maybe when you were younger? That should make the decision pretty easy for a person at that point.
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe a comparison here with the Flip, the Z Flip 5G. And the Z Flip 5G.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
And then Fold would just take it another level up in terms of productivity and multitasking, because you've got basically a tablet that folds in half, a lot like your Duo.
Which is really cool, by the way.
I love Duo. I think Duo is the future. I can see my kiddo a year or two from now. I have a younger daughter and a slightly older son. I can see my daughter, who's 9, going to school in a couple years, and that's what they take, right? They take their portable computer that folds in half into a book, and that is life. And it's 1 minute you're looking at a map of the world on both screens, and the next minute you flip it around and you're typing your answers in on the math equations, or she uses a tablet for a lot of her online schooling right now, Samsung tablet with an S Pen, right? And she's writing right on the screen. I think the Duo this is round 1. And if Microsoft can do what Samsung did with Fold 2, if they can make that kind of leap in the next one, the hardware is already rock star. So it's now it's
this
just
right here. Sorry.
I was going to say, no, now it's just a question of, can they get the software to and kind of work out the bugs? And they've got the right people to get that done, for sure.
They do. They're Microsoft. If anybody can do it, they can.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something with that. There is a different level of multitasking that you get with this that you don't necessarily get with the Fold. The Fold is nice, and the Fold has, you can create the separate windows and stuff, but this 4:3 aspect ratio on here, these two, fairly wide, work wide screens, makes it to where everything's really accessible, very visible. You can overlap the apps over each other if you don't want to close one and move back and forth. So there's a lot of complexity to this that you really kind of appreciate more as you use it and get the hang of it. Like, oh, this is cool. Let me do this. So, but they've got to get the software. They got to nail it.
Sure.
If it's true about the Pixel Fold that they're saying that's going to be out next year, I can see it being more of a Duo instead of a Fold like Galaxy Fold. I really can see it being that.
Yeah, for sure.
That way, and I think they'll nail it. Google will nail that if they do that. I'm sure they will.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got, like we were talking about Wing in the beginning. I've seen interesting things with Wing. I think Wing feels to me like, sorry, Dave, you there it is. Wing feels like content consumption up here and multitasking down here. There's an app. It's a demo app. I don't know if it's real, if it comes preloaded, or what it is, but it's called, and I've never seen or heard, Rave. Have you guys heard of Rave?
Nope.
And again, I don't know if I'm supposed to. Oh, I have to update it now. It says, essentially, there's content choices up here, and then when you choose one, I'm trying to not choose something weird.
It's an LG phone. Come on.
I think this is an international app.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just trying to find something that's okay here. This looks like it's some kind of Netflix show. So I'm joining in. I'm also trying to take an update. Oh, there we go. It's coming. It's slow. So there's a show up on top.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a live chat happening down below. And I didn't jump into a good one. But usually there's a massive comment stream going on while the show's happening.
I like that.
I can see it being like kind of like when you're watching a Periscope. You guys remember Periscope?
Yeah.
And you're in there and something's happening and there's a whole nother conversation, like even right now in the chat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now I can't get out of this thing because it's playing in the background. That's hilarious. Pretty funny. This is why it's pre-production software.
This phone is going to solve one big problem that irks me all the time when I'm trying to multitask on my phone. Like, it's basically giant window mode. I'll be in the middle of like YouTube, but I want to send a text message. I'll be in the middle of this, and I hate having to move back and forth all the time. This will let you have your dedicated content up top, and I can still keep sending my text messages, my tweets, or my comments to the YouTube down the bottom. You're never taken out of the experience, for one, and two, it's much more efficient, and you get to keep typing on your screen. And I think for a lot of people, like someone like me, that's a huge thing.
Yeah, it's interesting and it's fun. It's got a little fidget factor going on. You get a cool different.
I'd be sat there all day flicking it. I would. I'm smoking, so I use a clicky pen, but that I could see it. I'd be sat there click.
And it's not for everybody, but it's going to have solid camera. It's going to have great screen. It's got a good processor. Price has got to be right. Software's got to be kind of dialed in. But it's fun. It's fun. And sometimes that's all folks are looking for. They're looking for a phone that, a lot of phones are very consistent. Camera's good, screen's good. So then why buy a new one? I've got an upgrade. I need to use it. This looks like fun. Is it dependable? That kind of thing. This one feels interesting. I think in the world we're in right now where you have to your point, Adam, where you're kind of consuming content, but having an interaction at the same time, like that Rave app thing, talking to people, chatting, watching a Netflix while visiting with your friends. Buddy of mine named Brandon Davis, who works for comicbook.com, started a quarantine watch party. I don't know if you guys saw those on Twitter.
Yes.
But when COVID first came in, he was having members of Marvel Cinematic Universe join in on Twitter, and they would all watch one of the Marvel movies together. Okay, everybody press start, and then they would tweet. And this is an example of a device that totally enables that kind of community, and it seems really cool. And it's fun. I have no reason for this thing to exist except for it's absolutely tons of fun.
Yeah. I like the idea of it. I really do. I like the fact that you can have, like you were saying about the Duo, you can have controls on the bottom while you're gaming instead of having a whole screen. And I like the idea of that. I don't know. I'm excited because it's different, and I'm a geek. I can't help it. My nerd factor comes out because the screen does this.
I think at the end of the day, the best thing is we have all these new novel form factors coming out that are making phones really exciting. It's no longer, let's get the stamp out and make another phone that looks exactly like this. And like you said, it gives you that interesting factor. It gives you that something cool. It used to be cool. You could recognize phones when people had them. You could see somebody walking around with an iPhone. You could see somebody with a BlackBerry. You could see now you walk out in public with that, and it's a great, if you can do that. But you got to
figure out how to make the whole thing magenta. This is the T-Mobile phone.
Yeah, there you go.
You got to have it swing open and get the top half and the bottom half. But look at that. Look at even the.
It's really cool. LG are on it right now as well.
This is fun. This is fun. She said it looks comfortable in hand. Yes, it's actually got nice kind of wide rails that are rounded on the edges but flat right in the middle. You can get a good grip on that phone, and it's not too wide. I feel like it's narrower than the Note. I am correct. It is narrower than the Note.
Here's what I found on the web.
Oh, and Google's looking for something for me, apparently.
Any idea how long the battery lasts on that, or can you say?
It's pre-production. I've never run it completely dead because I'm not using it hard enough yet, but it's now that Razer's done, Fan Edition's done, Pixel's out in the world. See, a lot of these things I use and can't talk about, and then when it's out in the world, I move on. This one, LG was nice enough to announce really early, and pricing and availability is still to be determined, but it's down the road. Yes,
it has pop-up selfie.
We should demonstrate that because it's like the OnePlus, right? Yep. So if we go here, let me see if I can do it backwards. It's hard to do. There it is. Look at that.
Pop-up selfie.
And then in this swing mode, you can do dual recording.
I like that. I really like it.
So there's picture in picture. So that little guy popped up. The back is over here. And so I don't know if you guys can see this. There's a little picture in picture right here, which is the front-facing camera. And I can push, where's this button? I can split it to a split screen.
That's cool.
Right? And I can put it back to the picture in picture.
And then you get the controls down on the bottom. It's no more, here, let me keep touching the screen I'm using all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so, nobody needs selfies of Des. So when you guys, Ashley, when you guys get the phone in the store, you guys that look great take selfies and share them out to the world. No one needs selfies of me.
I have a question because we're on the LG, and obviously LG Velvet came out recently on T-Mobile. Why did they go MediaTek on the T-Mobile version? Is there any reason for it, or was it just testing the market?
It's a secret, and I'll never tell.
Okay.
But it is nice to have 5G options.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, instead of relying on the way. Yeah, without a doubt. Because MediaTek have got a lot better nowadays than what they used to be. So I just wondered whether it was like a tester or. Yeah.
I don't actually know the answer. I just think it's great that we have options.
Yeah.
So.
Favorite underrated feature of the Z Fold 2? I gotta say, I think my favorite underrated feature is the speakers. These things, it wasn't really a big talking point whenever it first came out or it was getting into people's hands. But then as you see people use them a little bit more, and I turned it up one day, I was like, holy wow, these things are really good.
I think you're on. There's something about this device, both with the speakers and the screen. And Michael Fisher, Mr. Mobile, and I actually pointed this out to him. He maybe thought I was crazy, but you watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Towards the end of the movie, when Miles kind of realizes that he is Spider-Man, and he's at the top of that building. He's just seen Aunt May. He's about to do the big swan dive off the building.
Yeah.
That scene on this screen with that music, it fills the room, the speakers, to kind of add to your point. And something about this screen, it looks freaking three-dimensional. Yeah. The animation's that good. The 4K HDR feed that's coming from Google Play Movies. I know it's not a 4K screen, but it's doing something. It's definitely high dynamic range for sure. That movie on this phone looks tremendous. And I've seen like it's it's the only thing that's kind of bad is that this is a more square screen, and that's a letterbox movie, right? But it looks so good. So everybody's screen looks good, to your point, speakers, but I really think there's something about content consumption on that phone that they've really dialed it in.
What about you, Dan? Favorite underrated feature?
I don't know. I mean, would the cameras be? For me, I think the cameras on this are better than the Note 20 Ultra. I think it takes a better still photograph than my Note 20 Ultra did.
Lower resolution camera, less noise, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
There you go.
I took some because I'm like you. I like taking pictures of the clouds as the sun comes through and things like that. I've always done it, and I did it the other day, and I was in the car, dirty windshield, 70 miles an hour. Obviously, I shouldn't be taking photos, but there was God rays coming through the car, coming through the clouds. I was like, I've got to get this. Yeah, I was like, take the picture, bang, and it looked fantastic. You would never have known that I was in a car doing 70 driving with a windshield.
Leanne, it was funny. You wound up in the hospital, and Leanne comes like, Danny, you all right? Like, look at this picture I got right before I hit that car.
Yeah, that's it.
Right before the phone went through the windshield. Luckily, it backed up to Google Photos, and everybody's fine.
She would suffocate you at the hospital.
She would choke me out. No doubt about it.
Looks like we got a winner here from one of y'all's T-Mobile contests.
Nice.
Oh,
Paul is watching on the Revel 5G that he won on the guest for the cake giveaway. Very good. Very good. The T-Mobile, the T Studios team that I am a part of actually made that cake video. That was awesome. And we had a hint of it in my unboxing of Revel. We were in we were in the new T-Mobile headquarters food court, which is a ghost town because none of us are working in the office right now. But we had all these beautiful new kitchen fixtures and everything, and that the whole is it cake or not has been kind of a social thing going on. And I said we should unbox it in one of the kitchens and do it with the cake. And so we got to eat the cake. It was carrot cake. Carrot cake. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I'm not a big sugar kid, so carrot cake is less sugar for me. So I'm glad he is enjoying the Revel 5G. And that's, again, we talk about affordable smartphones, $399 for a 5G phone with an HD screen. Pretty good.
Yeah, I think Greg is fascinated with food. He used to do a live stream at like midnight, and I would hang out on his midnight live stream a lot. And a lot of times, like, hey, we would talk about food all the time. I guess because we all get hungry around midnight. But apparently, he wants to know what your favorite English food dish is.
English food dish. Well, The number one meal in England is an Indian food called chicken tikka masala. Well, I like Indian food because in England there's a massive Indian population. So I would go with Indian curry, but it has to be a hot, spicy one. None of this beginner tikka masala stuff. But if I had to go solely English, it would be a Sunday roast dinner.
All right. What's your favorite American dish then?
What is my favorite American thing?
He eats everything. I don't think he has time to inventory it.
Hey, listen. When I first got here, let me tell you, I put 60 pounds on in 11 weeks because of Wendy's. All right? I haven't seen a square triple cheeseburger in my life, and that ginger chick put so much weight on me. I'm like, oh my God. 11 weeks later, I'm like, God, inflated.
That's funny.
So, yeah, Wendy's was my favorite. I don't know what, Chipotle probably, even though I got sick of their E. coli lettuce that they denied. Yeah.
I love Chipotle.
Chipotle good.
I think Shake Shack is my favorite.
No, Shake Shack is good.
Oh, it is the best. I will, if I'm in New York and I'm at the airport, I'll even try to find a way to go over to, I think it's Terminal 4 has the Shake Shacks in it. And Alaska is what I typically fly, and so you have to go to the other one. So good.
We have one here,
so they'll do lettuce wraps.
Yeah, they know we have them. But who does that? Hardee's do that over here.
Okay.
I love those crisp cut fries that they have at Hardee's. Oh, they're so good, especially with the barbecue sauce. I used to have. There was a Hardee's here. Sorry, Carl's Jr. They're basically the same thing, and there was one right outside my subdivision that they built, and it. They expanded really fast down here and then kind of contracted after that because it wasn't doing so well. But I would walk over there, like me and my wife, or take the wife and the kids, and we'd just walk right over to Carl's Jr. and go eat. But I love those fries.
The one I miss mainly from when I lived down in Florida is Whataburger. Oh, I love it. Yeah. Whataburger was really good. I like that. Joe down there, if only we see, Joe says Kroger chicken and egg beaters. I love Kroger's chicken stuff, right? But egg beaters, let me explain the egg beaters. Now. Yeah. So I need to explain the egg beaters because people are going to be like, what is he talking about? So I just got up from a nap and I went and I was doing the wrong thing where you grab the milk and you drink straight out of the bottle because my mouth felt like it had been eating sand. And I grabbed the egg beaters and I was that tired, I chugged at least 3 mouthfuls of it down before I realized it wasn't the milk.
Yum.
So obviously you can tell what my butthole was doing for a couple of days.
Oh my goodness, I'm getting hungry. I'm reading the comments. I'm like half listening to Dan. Ashley's talking about now. Gregor said Shake Shack is the best. Ashley says hungry for In-N-Out, and I'm like, oh, there is In-N-Out. In-N-Out. And I was gonna say, here in Seattle we have Dick's Drive-In, which is kind of like a Shake Shack or an In-N-Out. It's local. I think there's only probably a dozen or so of them here in the city, but man, they're so good, so good. And then White Castle, we're gonna have to go get hamburgers tonight.
We definitely have a Popeyes down here, and I love Popeyes, but that Cajun spicy chicken is utterly.
Popeyes is so overrated.
Okay, so here's the challenge. Here's the challenge for everybody. So. Adam, you come up with the hashtag. Everybody that's in the chat, Adam's going to post a hashtag after we're done, and you're going to best food photography from your smartphone. Name your smartphone and the place you got the food, and take a great shot of what you eat sometime this weekend, and I'll give away a phone.
Damn.
So there's only however many replayers going to be in here. I'll do an LG Velvet. Executive pack, so it's got like a hat and earbuds and all kinds of stuff.
Nice. Good. Des throwing out.
So everybody here that's listening right now, or if you're watching on the replay, you have till, what should we say, Adam? Like Sunday night, midnight into Monday morning.
Yeah. So what day is that?
That's the second or third.
Third.
All right. So by 12:01 on October the 3rd. Is that what you're recording?
It would be technically. It would be
the 4th into the 5th.
Into the 5th, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So 12:01 on the 5th.
12:01 on the 5th. That'd be Monday. That's your deadline.
All right. So post a picture of the food.
Yeah.
The place you got it.
And the
what phone?
What do you want? Do you want them to use Unhinged Tech for hashtag?
Well, yeah, we can do Unhinged Tech.
And
Unhinged Tech.
somehow T-Mobile or Des or whatever.
Nah, just Des. We'll just do
Okay.
Des. LG. We'll thank LG for sending a couple of executives. We'll send one out. We'll pick a winner. Best photo. It could be best photo, and we'll all have to talk about it, right, on Twitter beforehand. It'll either be the food that looks the best, or the place that we all want to go, or we'll figure it out.
Well, if you have some free time, maybe what we can do, I don't know what your schedule looks like next Wednesday. Maybe you could come back briefly at the beginning of the show next Wednesday, and we can announce the winner.
That sounds good. That'll be. We'll have the winner. We'll have the winner by this time next week. Coach is in. Look, Coach just joined. Someone tell Coach there's a contest.
Yeah, so Coach, there is going to be a contest.
Absolutely. Joe's in. Georgette's in. Fox Tech. Fox Tech. I don't know if I can ship global. I don't know.
He's in the UK, so
I'll go ahead.
Yeah, why not? We'll go for it.
International? Okay.
Yeah. So there you go.
We might have to do a GoFundMe for the shipping, but
yeah.
Nah. We'll just T-Mobile will pay for the shipping.
All right. So, international.
And then you got to tweet it. So everybody. So yeah. So hashtag LG Velvet.
There you go.
There we go.
So
hashtag Unhinged Tech, hashtag LG Velvet.
There you go.
Sweet. So we'll get this. I'll start that up tonight.
That's awesome. That is real awesome.
Thank you. That is super awesome.
That'll be fun.
Oh, so we have so many people have to watch the replay, but the short of it is we're going to be running a contest. It's going to be sponsored. Des is going to be giving out an LG Velvet executive pack to somebody. We're going to do the contest. It's going to be basically like a best food picture contest with your phone. So you got to take a picture of the food. Are we going to do home food or just any food?
Any food.
All right, so
I think the idea is we've been talking about food. We're all hungry.
Yeah.
Now I can go
really
look, but you take a picture with your phone, right? I think it's got to be a phone photo.
Mhm.
You can stage it if you want. You can just run out and do the hamburger in the hand. Right? That's up to you guys that are participating.
be creative.
Yeah, be creative. Yeah.
And put what phone you using.
We'll chat. You got till basically Monday morning. The three of us will figure it out and we'll announce the winner next week.
That's awesome.
Cool.
And there'll be more. I'll tweet this out. So that way everybody's clear as mud.
I'll retweet it.
Wonderful.
So somebody's going to get a phone, and we're all going to get our appetites.
And I'm going to be sat here looking at the yeah, I'll be like, oh, I'm so hungry.
Don't worry.
There have been a couple of questions about. Ashley asked about I think you might have to scroll up. That one went flying by. Galaxy Fold inside screen clean, trying not to scratch it. Foldable glass. So it's plastic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Samsung has a different marketing name for theirs, but it's
plastic stuff. It's got cards in it, and it's like
it's like a composite, right?
Yeah.
But it to be that flexible, it's gotta be plastic. Motorola calls theirs. Here, let me check my notes.
Yeah, let's think about it earlier.
Yeah.
OLED, yeah. Right. So they didn't beat around the bush. Plastic OLED, and it makes sense. It's got to be that way. You can do coatings. That's what Samsung's trying to do with that composite. Is they're trying to make it feel more like real glass, right? Because it feels more premium too. Mm-hmm. Let's see. And then how do you keep the inside clean? Microfiber cloth right here.
Yeah. And this is not a plug for these guys, but I use these Zeiss lens cleaning wipes all the time on all my phone screens. I buy it
from the drugstore. Libman cleaning products, microfiber cloth.
Yeah, definitely use microfiber. Don't use cotton. Don't use wool. Don't use any. That stuff's abrasive. Use microfiber.
This one is a polypolyamide blend, but it's microfiber and it's fantastic.
And I'm not telling anyone to do this, but if you want your screen to stay cleaner, take that dumpster fire of a screen protector off it, because that thing. Ooh. Oh my God! It's
I cannot recommend that.
No, I'm not saying people should, but I did, and
yeah, it does. You're right. The screen protector. I was going to say I just wiped it off, but this thing, whatever this is made out of, this screen protector, absolutely attracts fingerprints. You're right.
Yeah.
And I've got a black one.
And I will also not,
is a fingerprint magnet.
Yep.
So
I will not recommend taking it off either, but I haven't had as many headaches as I clean mine like every once a day or once every other day with those wipes. So mine stays relatively clean.
Yeah.
If you don't clean your screen all the time, it will look like dirt.
The reason I had to do it with mine was I work in carpentry, woodwork, and that screen protector gathered so much sawdust, I was scared it was going to dent the screen.
Yeah.
Seriously. And it was like, I don't know whether it's static or what on that, but it just totally attracts every bit of dust that there was in the shop. I was like, okay, time to go.
So I think, yes, Zach talks sex. So don't use sandpaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't use sandpaper.
Let's see. Coach is saying, glad everyone listened. He must be talking about taking the screen protector off.
Yeah, he did as well. There's a few of us that have, quite a few of us.
No. So
even Samsung will do it for you if you go into their store.
They will, yeah. They recommend that you take it and have a Samsung person actually take the screen protector off. So, I mean, I guess you want to go to Best Buy to like a Samsung experience or something like that. They can probably.
No way, man. I'm not letting that guy take my screen protector off.
Absolutely, the guy at Best Buy.
No way.
Touching my phone. No.
No. Nope.
Yes, the Z
I
Fold 2.
would have Ashley or a wonderful T-Mobile employee assist me with my products, and they will tell you not to take it off. So
I went to Best Buy and people come up to me and I'm like, go away, I know more than you.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Georgette is asking, it comes with screen protector. So yeah, the Fold 2 5G has a screen protector installed. If you watch my unboxing video, we do a real tight close-up of that the selfie cam, and you can see the cutout.
Mm-hmm. And the front screen has a screen protector on it as well.
Yeah, but that's just a normal one. Who cares? Mine is actually still on. I've scratched a lot of phone screens lately. I don't know what it is. I've been, we're in quarantine. I'll be honest. I'm wearing board shorts like every day, and they have those little rings. They have those little rings in the pocket, like the little water loop rings.
I have that.
Metal, the rivets.
They'll catch the bottom of the phone as it's going in and out. The bottom of the screen.
I think that's what's scratching my phones is wearing board shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been super careful with mine. Even, maybe there's like, I don't know what it is, super pocket lint. Maybe that's a thing. We've got super bugs, we've got super viruses. Maybe there's super pocket lint that we don't know about now. And it doesn't matter. It seems to be, I could have Gorilla Glass like 15 on my phone, and somehow with nothing else in my pocket, I'll end up with the micro scratch somehow.
Yeah, I'm that guy as well. And it'll be in the most annoying place, like dead in the center of the screen that's always white, so you can see the scratch. I'm like,
I have a super secret phone that I can't talk about yet, and it has the worst, I ruined the screen with a huge Grand Canyon scratch from 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Not a break, but like a full-on, it's totally Dez's fault.
Ooh.
I won't even ask for a new test unit because they'll say, what did you do to your existing one? And I'll be banned for that.
We can't trust you.
Yeah, we can't trust you anymore. So
my son did that in my LG V60. He had this ladybug plastic thing, and I wasn't looking, and my son's like 22 months old, and he drove this ladybug backwards and forwards. It must have done it about 100 times without me knowing. I showed it you, didn't it, Adam? And I looked at a letter T scratched into my screen. I don't know how it didn't break.
Deeper grooves. Everything.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott, for stopping by. Scott, actually, if you're not familiar with him or haven't seen his show, he does a show before us, technically speaking, and he just hit 100 episodes today. So super cool for Scott. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, Scott's good people.
Another Ohio native. See?
Yeah. You guys from Ohio.
I know, right?
It's funny. Everybody's trying to guess what phone it is now. It could be an iPhone. Could be another Samsung phone. We've only got.
I think it ended it
here.
I think there's on the end of it.
Maybe it's the 2021 BlackBerry. Maybe you got a super early prototype.
Yeah.
I will let one leak out. I will never use a BlackBerry.
Really?
The last BlackBerry I used was a Curve when I was working on the first Android phone, the G1. So I had a BlackBerry Curve with that color screen and that little trackball in the middle. And what did it have, Dan? Like a 2-megapixel camera on the back?
Yeah, if that. It was like...
And that was like, I moved off of all my... I was a Sony Ericsson, like W800, W810, K750, all the camera phones, the cyber shots and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved to that phone, and I could not get off of that phone fast enough.
Really?
I absolutely love BlackBerry. Tell you what, if y'all get a BlackBerry, if they bring it to T-Mobile somehow, y'all fly me out there. I'll fly out there on my own dime, and we'll unbox it together.
You can unbox it. I'll just ship it to you.
Did you have the Nexus one?
Yeah, I actually have. Somebody tweeted me earlier today about expandable memory. I
was talking to the guy on that. I think
that was we were in the thread together, right? Yeah. And that guy was pissing and moaning about expandable memory, and I was like, "Oh, it was one of our T-Mobile guys, young guy."
Right.
Bless his heart. I was like, "Brother, I'll go upstairs and pull all the Nexuses out and show you all of them." So I have, I think I have every Nexus, and I have the HTC Ion. You remember that one?
Yep.
That was the T-Mobile's MyTouch 3G.
Yep.
But the vanilla Android one was called an Ion, and it's what we based the Fender limited edition on. So the Ion had the metal buttons.
Mm-hmm.
And then a gal in our office, Farrah Houston, she's awesome. I think she left for Microsoft eventually. Was working on the Fender edition MyTouch and put those metal buttons on there. And the only thing the Ion had that soft touch band right around the middle. It's out in the garage. I saw it the other day. That's a cool phone. And then the Fender is essentially that makeup without the soft touch. It's got the wood finish. I have a Fender in a box that's never been opened.
Wow.
That's my collector's item. I have, in fact, the boss this weekend looked at me in the garage and she said, "When is all this shit gonna go away?"
You're like, "Oh, one day, yeah, we'll get it one day. It'll be all right."
Yeah. I can only imagine. Like, I've got like 20 phones, probably somewhere about there. And I've got all these BlackBerries stashed all over the place. And my wife's like, just finds them. It's like, your BlackBerry. I'm like, I got it there on purpose. I know why it's there. And I can only imagine you probably have like 350 phones taking up like.
I would guess I have well over 1,000.
Oh my gosh! Wow. I'm number.
That's a video.
I have lots, and it's weird. It's one of those things where. I always turn my test units back in because that's part of the rule is you use the test units checked out to you. It belongs to T-Mobile. It goes back.
Yep.
But over the years, most of them are ones I purchased. There's a few prototypes mixed in that someone was leaving and said, "Here, Des, take this." I have a ton of Sidekicks. It's funny. I have purchased one of every Sidekick and kept them in really good condition. And unfortunately, they don't connect to anything anymore. But the irony is like when people would leave T-Mobile, "Hey, Des, I know you like Sidekicks. Here's 5."
Yeah, I never had that phone.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I've kept, and I'm like you guys. I'm a phone junkie. I'm a historian. I have just always appreciated each thing. Like even when we're talking about phones tonight, someone says, "What's the worst phone?" I'm like, I don't know if there's a worst phone. There's an ass for every seat, right? And so
yeah, absolutely,
everybody's got a need, and hopefully somewhere there's a phone built for you that covers that. Whether you need a gimbal in your phone or a inexpensive 5G phone or a folding phone or whatever it is, right?
Well, that'd be cool. One day you can retire from T-Mobile and you can open up Dez's emporium of historical phones.
That is open a nice little museum.
You can serve spicy nuggets.
Bone wall. So Georgette, I built at T-Mobile. It's still there somewhere, and I have pictures of Ledger sitting at a throne of phones when we were doing a Game of Thrones cross promotion, and I built a chair just like the Iron Throne out of phones. I still have well over 1,000 phones.
I mean, I was thinking about that earlier. When it comes to the job that you do, your job has got to be. I mean, I know you probably love what you do, of course, but I mean, from us guys as like phone geeks, it's really cool to be like, just dealing with these new phones constantly all the time. I know some of that stuff maybe get monotonous sometimes, but it's really exciting getting to see all these phones, get them before they come out, test them out.
It's kind of, I will say, yes, I'm very blessed. And at the same time, it's a little bit of a curse because remember, everything I'm using is pre-production.
Yeah.
That shit does not work most of the time. And right about the time that it's really good, we announce a Pixel and everybody's great. That goes back and a wing shows up in pre-production software and it blows up all your photos every time you take one. And
yeah, I could see the frustration. It's like you have like
so everybody understands
everything you could want, but there's a little asterisk next to it.
Yeah, there is. I always joke that I need a constant. And it's funny, of all things, I'm an Android guy, but my iPhone 11 Pro Max is my constant because it's got my digit SIM in it. And I use it for filming because I love the triple cameras, and I'm looking for it. It's right over here. Right?
Video on that thing is crazy.
Video is great on this, and I can color correct to get to the kind of more fun, saturated kind of looks that I like. But I know no matter what, I can count on this for video. And I'm starting to get to the point now where Samsung's in that same boat.
Yes.
Especially with Pro camera. Yep. Samsung for a long time did a lot of hunting for focus in video. Yep. You get this a lot, and it used to drive me just bonkers.
Oh, yeah, on the S20 Ultra. Oh, yeah. That's why I got rid of it. It was like, come on, any motion, it'd be blurred.
Yeah. So the S20 Ultra would have like epilepsy mode, where just the camera like strobe effect, where it would just go crazy if it got like a glint of anything shiny.
I had great. So we filmed that unboxing on the Monster zip line in Puerto Rico, second longest zip line in the world, longest in the Americas, and the videos I have from that trip all day long, filming with multiple Ultras, S20 Ultras, are some of the best videos I've ever seen in my life.
It is good.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Never had the problem with the hunting on that phone, and it had some problems after. They've fixed just about everything, which is fantastic. That's kind of my other constant. It's sitting over there. It's just not simmed up right now, but my just plain old black S20 Ultra.
The front-facing camera on that, best front-facing camera on any phone.
Ever.
Really good. Really good.
So good.
Really good. And I think it's on sale right now, so go pick one up if you're looking for a good one. That one has millimeter wave, it has mid-band, and it has low band. It has everything.
And a 5,000 milliamp battery. That sucker will last you forever.
And if you're caught in a dark alley and some English guy named Dan shows up, you just throw that at him and he's out.
Absolutely. Talking of millimeter wave, did you see how much the 4A 5G is on your competitors? It's an extra $100. It's $600 for the 4A.
They're stupid. Come on.
Idiots.
I heard that they were
last night. Just shut up, man.
Yeah.
I heard they were going to change their name to the Uncarrier because everybody's leaving them.
Yeah, could be. It's there's no reason to charge extra for 5G. There's no reason to treat your customers right. You're gonna get me on my rant, but just you don't. Ashley's still here with us. There's some folks probably that will watch this later that are T-Mobile people. I think we as a company, this is not an official statement, but I would bet anything you ask any T-Mobile employee, we believe 100% in our customers. We want to treat them right. We want to treat them like we would treat our friends and our family. And you just don't do that shit to people.
No, I've been with T-Mobile. Close. No one comes close with T-Mobile. And I'm not just saying that because you're here. I plenty of times she gets a discount on Verizon. We could go over to Verizon, but we won't because you do not.
Discount on Verizon would put you at the same price point as your T-Mobile.
Exactly, yeah. But you don't get it's like I can walk. I have a T-Mobile store literally 2 minutes across the road, and I can walk in there just to say hey because they know who I am, and everyone's so friendly. Very rarely you pick up the phone and you get somebody in a bad mood. Unless you phone in the middle of the night to pre-order an iPhone and they put you through to where I used to live in England and they're like, well, I'm talking to an English guy and I'm like, shut up and just order the damn phone. It's like
No, I think that's one of the things due to COVID that I miss the most. We have, Susanna, my team member, and I do a Tech Tuesdays.
Yeah,
cool. YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And we started that in hopes that we would eventually get back into stores for phone launches and stuff like that.
I remember you used to go around all the time.
All the time.
Yep.
And we're just not, that's not the world we live in right now. So once
and never came to Ohio.
well, never, I was thinking about buying my Bronco in Iowa.
Well,
if that's any consolation, it's got to be close.
4 words, 4 letters. So yeah.
Those new Broncos look super nice.
Yeah, they do.
I'm excited. That it's forever. It's a year away still. It's a joke.
Yeah.
But someday.
Absolutely.
Well, I guess, I mean, unless you want to keep talking, normally we run an hour and we're like an hour and a half. I mean, I'm always happy to sit around and keep talking, but I don't want to keep you any longer because
I'm going to go get a hamburger from somewhere because I'm starving now.
Well, you go grab your hamburger. I'm gonna try and get this this tweet out to get the contest stuff started so people can take pictures of the food.
I was trying to eat while getting my computer up and running. I did it all at once. I changed my shirt, got my hat, ate my sandwich, got my computer up and going.
And the miracle of it all is there's no food on that white shirt.
Are you impressed? I'm fat. I don't waste food. Come on now. I mean, look at me. I don't like the kind of guy who's going to waste food.
So one of my sons,
you can't even see my ears. So come on, that means I like my food.
One of my sons. Yeah. Anyway, I'll tell the story some other time. But thanks a lot, Des, for stopping by.
Yeah, and thank you for the competition, Des. That is awesome.
Oh, okay. Ashley's in Omaha. We have to stop by. Georgette loves the community. We have beautiful bills. Good evening from Luca. Techno Minute just showed up. How you guys doing? We're great. Have a good night.
Yeah, like thanks for showing up and have a good night.
Cool. Awesome.
So everybody, thanks for stopping by tonight. It was a total blast. Thanks for Des to come by again, and also with this contest. I'll get that started. We're gonna announce the winner of the LG Velvet.
Yeah.
The
Make sure they subscribe to your channel. All the good stuff. Like, subscribe, use the hashtag. We'll pick an awesome food shot out and send you a fun LG Velvet.
Yes,
cool phone.
And go watch our unboxing video. That's the Indiana Jones one. It's like the best one ever.
Oh, I showed my wife. She's like, "That's so awesome." And then we went watching
the pool with the FE. That is great. When I saw that, I was like, we were just talking about getting.
And you watch the Razer one today. Everybody's like, you did it at your desk.
Yeah, I know. So
they can't all be like that. They can't all be like that.
Well, thanks a lot, everybody, for stopping by. We had tons and tons of fun tonight. It's always great to talk about phones and tech and food. And it was great having Des back. So thank you so much. Thank everybody so much. And we will see y'all next Wednesday, same bat time, 7:30 Central Standard Time. And we'll be announcing the winner for the contest in 2. So make sure you come back.
Cool.
We'll see y'all later. Have a safe week and catch y'all on the next one.